Welcome back to Businesses Boundless in Kern County. I'm Richard Chapman, President and CEO of the Kern Economic Development Corporation, and with me today is Rick Kreiser, President of Carney's Business Technology Center. Well, Rick, thanks for coming on the show. It's an honor to have you come and tell your story, not just about your company, but also the Guitar Masters that you founded. So let's start out with Carney's. Tell us about the history and importance of the company for the region.
Well, it's thank you, Richard. It's a privilege always to be with you, and great to be part of the organization too. So Carney's was founded by my father-in-law, Bob Carney. He was in business with a couple of other companies in this town back in '77, had been there a long time, and decided to branch out by himself. And so about 6 months later, he invited me to come down. I was in the newspaper business in Watsonville, California.
About 5 decades ago.
It was 1,000 years ago in internet time. And I did. And we came down, my wife and I, and we started this little business, and it's been a tremendous ride. You know, all the good, all the bad that being in business for yourself brings, but what a wonderful community to do business in.
Wow, and you're obviously, the philosophy is about customer service, great service in the IT realm. So explain the importance of that.
Yeah, that's all you ever have, Richard, in any industry, is your ability to serve your clients well, whether it's a professional services, attorney, accountant, whether it's what we do is IT and IT security. It didn't start that way, Richard. You know, we were banging out Selectric typewriters and whiteout when I started.
Before Y2K.
So, well before Y2K. But we transitioned, into doing networks and into the cloud and everything that IT is today.
Well, I want to also mention that in 2023, you were the John Brock Award winners for your obviously incredible commitment to bettering Kern County's economy. And along those lines, talk about Guitar Masters. We seem to have a guitar in our presence.
Why, look at here, everybody loves a prop. Guitar Masters kind of was just born out of my love for music. I'm not a disciplined fellow that can sit for hours and hours and practice, otherwise I'd be up there with them playing. But man's got to know his limitations. So what my role is in Guitar Masters, I founded it simply to see if I could do it. Just started as house concerts, but when I hired my first artist, who was Paul McCartney's guitar player, when he came to Bakersfield, I realized that I didn't have room for 50 people in my home. And so we rented the old church plaza, which now belongs to the superintendent of schools, and we had 165 people for that first show back in 2011. I thought, this is fun. I can do this. And now we're about to do our 120th show.
And almost 500 people per show.
Well, yeah, in those days it was, we had a big, but we were at Studio A downtown, and we could only get maybe 90 in there. So it's been up and down, but all the venues have their own personality. And since 2017, when the Owens family invited me to do the shows at the Palace, that's been our home. And the artists love it. The patrons love it, and of course, I just think it uplifts the culture a little bit of Bakersfield. We don't ask a ton for the tickets, but we do put talent on stage every month without question.
Well, we are Nashville West, and even more in terms of our rich music history. So that's what folks around the world come here to hear, the Bakersfield sound.
Well, they do.
And make this come to fruition.
And I was explaining to the little group that was in here earlier, we kind of refer to the Palace as the mother church of music on the West Coast, because it really has that kind of a reputation. And all of the artists, maybe with one or two exceptions, mostly the guys I get out of Italy that can't speak English, know who Buck Owens was and know what he meant to culture of music and to the business of music as well. So it's a really rich history, and that's one I'm very proud of, is to host our shows at the Palace.
Well, where can we go to find out more about Carney's and Guitar Masters?
Pretty easy. If you go to carneys.com, you'll learn about our company. Okay. And to that company, being in business, it's a family business, and it always has been. When I started with Bob, the two of us in a garage, but I've had the unique privilege of raising two wonderful sons in the business. And what an honor it is to be able to watch your kids grow from 20 feet away. And so that's been my highlight of that whole journey. And I'm still there, still got a job. Guitar Masters is my release. It's my fun. So if you go to carneys.com, you can learn what we do and who we are. And if you go to guitarmasters.org, you'll see the full schedule. We try and program 5-6 months in advance. And you'll learn more about the series there.
Well, thanks so much, Rick, and we can't wait for the next 10 years, so appreciate all you do for our community. And
thank you, Richard.
remember, business is truly boundless in Kern County.